be on and set it to my, go to my But I should had it set for. Hold on, let me see if I can manage it from here. Loud. Alright, looks like we're live.
Okay. Yeah.
Are we live?
Or is it MFM channel
Hey,
speed?
go stand in front of the table there, real quick. We are live.
Okay.
big deal. The big boy one, right?
Okay.
Okie dokie pokies. Alright, so I wanted to talk for just a minute about why I chose this build, alright? The reason why I chose this build was because I wanted to have the boys have the opportunity to have gaming PCs that were not crap PCs, but really good budget built PCs. So the major deciding factor for that was the performance versus the cost. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that. Can you go into my office and just,
Okay.
mute that so I don't have to hear it? Just turn the speaker down. Okay, so we're talking about performance versus cost, right? So I wanted to have something that is future-proof for the most part. You can't really future-proof any PC build, but I wanted to have something that would allow the boys to be able to play modern games at a decent frame rate. Maybe not like the best in the world, but something that will allow them to enjoy the games that they enjoy to play, or that they enjoy playing, and also allow some future-proofness. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the components that I chose and why I chose them in the order of which we're going to build them. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is the case. I chose the Corsair 4000D airflow case with the tempered glass side. Number one, because it's of excellent value. It has really great airflow, obviously with the name, but that's not just what makes it a really great case for PC building. It's very easy to build in, which is important when we are doing our very first build. And it is, sorry, I'm looking at my notes because I'm a whack ass here. All right, so very easy to build in. It has great cable management. And so those are two main factors, right? So if you have a case that's difficult to build in, whether it is for the layout of the case or the way that you have to route the cables and all that stuff, it's not going to make the build as enjoyable. And then at the end of the day, you're going to look at your build and it's going to look like crap, perhaps. Or you're going to spend it in an incredible amount of time trying to make sure that everything looks right. Okay, so that covers the case. All right, and then the case, it comes, I believe, with a stock 140 millimeter fan in the front, but we're going to run 5 Arctic 120 millimeter fans in the case. So we're going to run 2 in the front. We're going to run 2 in the front, pulling air in, all right, and then we're going to run 3 on the back side of the case, 1 at the top and 2 in the rear that are going to be set up to pull air away. So what that's going to do is that's going to allow the air to come into the PC, right? That air is going to go over the top of the motherboard, and then that air is going to get heated by the components on the motherboard, and then the exhaust fans are going to exhaust that air. Next thing I want to talk about is power supply. I went with EVGA 750 watt gold power supplies. I was not able to get the exact same power supplies for both of the PCs because when I got back from deployment, I thought that I actually fried my power supply, but I'm just not very smart, and I realized that the power switch is not the power button. So I ended up ordering a power supply for my current PC, and when I did that, it was an excellent value on Newegg. I think I got it for about $100, and then if you were to look it up now, it would probably be about $170. But so they're both 750 watt, both gold certified. So why did I choose 750 watts? Well, and I'll put up the parts list for the current build as it sits right now, which only has about 240 watts that it's going to draw, and that's without the graphics card. And we'll get to the graphics card in a little bit. But the reason why I chose 750 watts is because the next generation of graphics cards that's coming out right now, like for instance, NVIDIA just released the 4090, or they're in the process of releasing it. I think it comes out today, either today or tomorrow. But it is a very power hungry card. We're not going to run that type of card in these machines because it'd be complete overkill. So what we're going to do is we're going to run the 4060s, that's the plan. But I chose a 750 watt power supply to allow enough power to run that type of thing. Because the new cards obviously consume more power than the older cards. And the reason why I chose the gold and all that crap is because they're more efficient and they're going to last a little bit longer. Alright, so then that covers the power supply. Next we're going to talk about the motherboard. The motherboard I went with is the Asus Tough Gaming B660M plus Wi-Fi D4. I don't know. We'll go over a couple of things, but all those technical specifications, those are well beyond the scope of what this video is. This video is just like going over basic PC components and then how to build it, right? But so the reason why I chose this motherboard is because it supports PCIe 5.0. That is the new standard for PCIe. You can look all this stuff up, and there's people that are way more articulate that will be able to explain a lot better. But it's the new standard. So the reason why I chose this motherboard is to future-proof the PC for the next generation of things that are going to come. The other reason why I chose this motherboard is because we just moved. We moved into a smaller place, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to have it so that everybody had a hardwired connection. And so this motherboard supports the latest Wi-Fi standard, which is Wi-Fi 6. Then the other thing is that it also supports overclocking. And it has a great user interface from the BIOS. Alright, next we're going to talk about the processor. I went with the Intel i5 12400. The reason for that is it is very inexpensive for what it is. You can't pause it. And if you were to compare it to a comparable Ryzen card or Ryzen processor, that'd be the Ryzen 5 5600X. Identical power draw, identical threads, $100 more, right? So as a budget build, this is competing with almost mid to higher tier cards from the previous generation. So that's pretty special. All right, and then next thing I want to talk about really quick is the hard drive. I chose a 2 terabyte NVMe solid state drive. So those are really, really small form factor card, or they're basically like almost a little bit bigger than like a USB stick type card that you'd use. And so that's gonna, number one, it's not gonna generate as much heat as a larger drive, and two, it looks a lot cleaner on the build, and it allows more room for other things. So these SSDs, they are PCIe 4.0, which is the current slash, now that PCIe 5.0 is out, but it is like pretty much the top tier because PCIe 5.0 components really haven't caught up to anything yet. So it's going to have really great read and write speeds. Another thing about a solid state drive is that the reason why it's called a solid state drive is because there are no moving components. Previous hard drives, what they would do is they would have a disk that would spin on the inside, and there would be an arm that would move up and down and up and down, and so it would spin at like 5,200 RPM or even higher depending on how much you want to spend on it. And so that arm would move up and down, and it would read and write from that disk, and then after time, it would just wear out. So solid state drives, they say that they might not have the same read and write capability as far as the amount of times stuff can be written to the disk and then overwritten, but their speed, because there's no moving parts and because they don't generate a lot of heat, it outweighs any type of deficit that might have. All right, so then we're going to talk about RAM. RAM is random access memory, and we could go over that. I'll actually go over some of those, what those components do and why they do what they do when we do this build. But I went with 32 gigabytes, which is overkill, right? Most system builders, they recommend 16 gigabytes. But if we're looking to future-proof our builds, if they're saying you should run like a minimum of 16 gigabytes. Every time a new operating system is released, the requirements for that operating system increase as well. So I went with 32 gigabytes, number one, future-proof, and number two, just to help the system to run better. And it's 3200 speed, latency of 16, all that shit. Seriously, just look up all that stuff. There are people out there that can explain it a lot better than I can. Alright, so that covers the why. Now, are you ready to get into the build? Let's do it. Mason, you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally forgot to go over the tools that we're going to use.
Oh.
But, Mason, you can come over and check this out too. Alright, so here are the tools that we're going to use. We're going to use a box cutter. That's to open up the majority of the packaging. It has a fresh blade on it. The reason why it has a fresh blade on it is because if you use a dull blade, it's going to require more force to cut. And the more force you try to use, the more likely you are to slip. You slip, you're going to hurt yourself, right? So always use a fresh blade. These are scissors that I've been using for a long time, but they're Lexan scissors. I got these when I built my first RC car many years ago. And these cut plastic so well that it makes like your kitchen scissors or any other scissors, it makes you not even want to use them. Like I said, needle nose pliers here. This is just in case if we need to reach into an area, if we drop a screw or a nut or something like that, and we can't reach it with our fingers, we'll use the needle nose pliers to go ahead and grab those out. Flathead screwdriver, might need it, probably won't. Hope that we don't. Alright, so we're going to put that with the needle nose and hope that we don't need it. I got a 5mm driver that is going to be used for, there's some standoffs that we're going to install on the motherboard for the processor. And then all the other fasteners should be a number 1 Phillips. Alright, I have duplicates of these because I was going to do this build with Gavin as well, but he wanted to go play basketball instead. And so when he gets back, then I'm going to try to catch him up to where Mason is with his build. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the build. Alright Mason, what I need you to do is I need you to grab your case. Alright, you don't have to like unbox it with the video because it's going to be awkward for you because it's a tall box. Or you can stand up. Alright, so there's a box cutter. See how easy that is with the fresh blade?
Yeah, I'm just cutting through the cardboard with a tape. An accident.
Alright, so one thing I like to do is just make like a little incision just kind of pull up, and then you can use the blade
To just get the other
just
hooks.
to break the tension on the tape, and that's actually going to break the tape. Now you always want to, if you can, you always want to cut away from yourself. Because if you cut towards yourself, it slips, you're going to obviously cut into yourself.
True.
Alright, so now we got this bad boy opened up.
Yep.
Now, another thing you might want to do is have like trash bags or something like that for all that stuff. So let's go ahead and just set this down on the ground.
Okay. I'll go grab one. Trash.
Because it has styrofoam that you can break really easy.
Yep.
Looks like the whole case is encapsulated with the styrofoam. You're watching this live. There are no edits.
Not loose yet.
At least yet. Lay this on its side. There you go. Alright, so pro tip. Open up the box, lay it on its side, and then you can pull it out. That way you're not fighting the weight of the case. Alright, so then we'll just take the styrofoam and put it in the box.
So dispose of that later.
And here's our
Manual.
manual, which we might need. We might need to reference that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Ready to pull the box off.
Let's get it set on.
Plastic off. There's some tape here. Oh no. We need to leave that tape there. That's
Why?
important. Why? Alright. So let's go ahead and bring this up here.
Is it so we don't get any fingerprints on it?
Well, okay, so there's a protective plastic film on the glass, and that is one of the most satisfying things to peel off, right?
True. Yeah.
So I didn't want to peel that off, I wanted to leave that for you. Make sense?
So if you want me to peel it off.
Alright, so here is it's the side of the case, but it's kind of like the top of the case, because when you build a PC, you build it this way. Alright, so on the back here, there's going to be two little thumb screw things, okay? So go ahead and take those out. When you take those out, put them right here on this towel.
Okay.
Alright, so you only have to work right now. Just worry about these top two ones, right?
Okay.
Alright, so let's see. So normally,
Yeah.
let's see. So this is tempered glass, right?
Yeah.
So
So
that means it's going to be probably kind of heavy.
true.
That's what they have manual. Alright, so these side panels are interchangeable.
Okay.
So that means if you want to have your show like your see-through part on one side or the other, we can change that out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty cool. So how much did each PC cost? Take it to.
As it is right now, each PC, you got to factor in like tax and shipping and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But each PC costs right now right around $800.
Oh.
Okay, so then you factor in the graphics card, and we're probably going to be looking at around $12 to $1,300.
That's pretty expensive.
It's somewhat expensive,
Yeah, but for like
but
a gaming
for what it is,
Yeah.
it's very budget friendly. If you look on other builds,
Yeah, they're like
they're
$1,000
kind of insane. Okay, so it looks like, I appreciate your dialogue here too. Looks like you just
Maybe let's try bottom or something.
Alright, so we took out the screws. Actually shows it with it. This.
It looks like it's loose or something. Maybe it slides. Or something.
So, my case, actually, since we got it right here, let's put this on.
Okay. Now we can take.
Should. So that one pops right
I'll
up,
try
right?
that. Yep.
So go ahead and set that one there. Alright, so that was kind of like a. Oh. It's got little screws right here.
And there we go.
Okay, there we go. Alright, so we're gonna set that one right there. Alright, so. We're gonna be installing stuff, right?
Yep. So.
It has, remember how I said it has really good cable management?
Yeah.
So it has these Velcro straps here, so we can route our cabling that we're gonna route, but there's really not gonna be much because we don't have very many components.
Yeah.
But we'll route those here. That way, when you look here, like this is, you're gonna have the glass here, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you're gonna see. We don't have any RGB lighting or anything like that in this build because I find it kind of superfluous. Anyway, and if the boys want to add RGB later, they always can, right? They can add some RGB fans or some other stuff. It's easy to do.
Do you need to grab anything for the thing?
All right, so what we're gonna do is we are going to install. Oh look, it's got a case fan in the back and one in the front.
Nice.
But we're gonna run with different fans, 3 off the PC.
Yeah.
So, if you want to, since Mason's gonna be running kind of the old video card until the new one's come out, I'm gonna give him the beast mode power supply because that's what dads do, right? So, go ahead and open that one up. While you're opening that up, I'm gonna go ahead and take these old these factory fans out.
Okay.
Now I don't know how to take out the front fans, so haven't built in this case before, so we're gonna figure that out together.
I just cut through the plastic wrap like butter.
Nice. If you want, you can come over here. That way people can see you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're just looking at the back of your head.
Well, they obviously want to see it.
AKA mom.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and retain this fan hardware. The fan pack that I bought comes with the hardware, but you never know if something's gonna be stripped out or anything like that. So it's a good idea to retain any hardware that you might have, right?
Yeah. Coming out.
Well, Mason. Getting hurt. Okay, so we opened it up from the bottom. Alright, so let's try opening that up, and we'll go from the top. Copy, bro. Yep, so it's got finger holes there to help you pull it out, though. Cool.
That came out super easily.
Throw that off to the side. Figure out how to get the front off. Alright, so I just took the rear fan out. I'm trying to figure out how to get this panel off so that I can get access to the front fan. Okay. So you just pull the cover off. There's that. This. Alright, so this is like it's almost like a screen door, right? And what that does is that prevents or keeps, just debris getting into your fans and then going in and through your PC. Put that one there. Alright, so now we just got to remove these 4 screws.
This feels very satisfying to build, you know?
Oh, I know. That's why we're doing it, but because what's kind of funny is that like a lot of people think that building a PC is like really hard or really difficult. It's not,
It just snacks
because
fine.
it's basically it's almost like Jeeps. They're just like Legos. So it's not hard, it's not difficult. You just have to be careful, and you have to kind of think things out and install things in order. Alright, so Mason just pulled out the power supply. Alright, that's gonna actually install into the bottom of the case, right over here.
Yep. There was a lot of cords.
And yes, it is. The cool thing about it is a fully modular power supply, which means that you have the power supply itself, and then it comes with a gang of cords, but you only use the ones that you need.
Yeah, so depending on the
Like,
size.
Yeah, like back in the day, you get a power supply, right?
Yeah.
And everything would be connected.
Yep.
So it'd just be like this big, huge spaghetti monster. And so you hook up the stuff that you need to hook up, and then you'd have to find a way to either hide all those things that you didn't need, or work around it. And it's could be pretty frustrating.
It's also called horrible cable management.
Yes, and cable management is key, right?
Yes, because you don't want a superstar PC to just look like a mess.
That's right. That is 150% right. All right, so should we?
So this one is.
Nope, don't do that
there. I know. That is to go there.
Because we have to. Let's go ahead and take this off. This, it's got another little mesh panel thing. All right, so our fan configuration is going to be actually. Let's go ahead and do, because we actually have a total of 7 fans that we can use per build.
Yeah.
Because I bought a five value pack, right?
Yeah.
But I said that we were gonna. I don't really even know if I had said what the configuration is gonna be.
You said 5.
I thought it was gonna. Oh wait, you know what? So we're gonna do 3 in the front. 3 in the front here, right? And those are gonna be pushing the air towards the back of the case. All right.
All right.
And then we'll do 1 fan on top, or 2, 3, 1 and 1. We'll do 3, 1, and 1. And those will be exhausting the air.
Yeah. Just keeping everything cool.
All right, so let's go ahead and. I'm sorry, Mason. I'm stealing all your thunder, dude.
That's fine. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing anyway.
Oh, here is our box of tricks. So this is probably going to be like just random hardware and stuff that we may need.
Yeah.
All right, so if we were to install a normal hard drive,
Yeah.
these are hard drive bays here. Okay. And what you would do is you would screw them to these brackets. Okay. And then you just kind of slide those brackets in here.
Okay.
And then if you put them in there, right, they'll lock into place, and that's what will hold your hard drives in place. Because the hard drives I was talking about earlier that have the rotation, right?
Yeah.
They aren't solid state drives. They're larger and they're heavier.
Yeah.
Okay. And they also create a lot more heat.
Yeah.
Let's see. This foam. I'm actually going to leave that foam there because it's probably there for vibration dampening.
Yeah.
Okie doke. So we got the power supply.
Yep. And
It's gonna go. So this is kind of silly that I forgot this, but you know what? Stuff happens. Did your power supply come with any, like a bag of screws or anything like that? Is this from your power supply?
and that was from the box.
That was from that box.
Yeah.
Okay. No worries. Okay, let's go ahead and try to minimize the amount of clutter that you have on the table.
Yes.
Because one thing that you'll learn as you try to like build stuff or work around like anything,
Yeah, just things getting
is
in the way
it
and stuff.
they can totally get into your way, which is fine.
Yeah.
But the more stuff that you have, the easier it is to forget where you put things. Or
Yeah.
get frustrated trying to look for stuff, right?
True.
So we got a whole bunch of zip ties.
Yep. That's like 20 of them at least. Yeah, quite a bit of screws. And it looks like some rubber bands or
So we
something.
got some washers. We got more of these things. right?
Yeah.
So if you don't want yellow, you can swap them out to black, or they're also used for these standoffs in the back.
Yeah.
And then we got these itty bitty screws. We'll figure out what those are for later, I'm sure.
Yep. And some
More screws.
And
More screws. Another thing to note, if you care to look, is that if you look at that screw, right? Do you see how much space there is between the threads?
Yeah.
Like you've got the shaft of the screw, and then you've got the little spiral things around it.
Yeah.
Those are the threads, right? So you see how much space there is?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's a lot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then if you look at this little screw in relation to, like in proportion to that one, like if you were to imagine this one to be the size of that one, you see how much closer spaced those are?
Yeah.
Alright, so this is what would be considered a coarse threaded screw, right? And this one would be what would be considered a fine threaded screw, or a coarse screw, or a machine screw.
Ah, so it's kind of like a more secured screw.
Yes, these are used when you want to install something quick, right? Because in order to install a screw, it doesn't take very many turns of a screwdriver.
Yeah, it only will take
Right,
5.
so those are usually used in instances where you want to install stuff quickly, but it doesn't require very much strength to hold it.
Yeah.
Machine screws, those are used to where you need precision and also strength.
Yeah.
Okay, enough about that crap. Let's figure out how to install this darn power supply. Okay, so put that one back over there. Alright, so power supply. Let's see, which is the bottom of the case? That's the bottom, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So
So we
does
got-
the power supply like have a fan built into it?
It does. Yep, right here.
Nice.
It's got a fan right there. And what that does is that will cool the power supply itself.
Yeah.
Alright, so we want to install it to where the fan is at the bottom.
Okay.
If we look here at the bottom of the case, it's got this screen, right?
Yeah.
Which prevents stuff getting sucked up into the fan. And you can actually take this out and clean it if you want to, or all that stuff, right? Alright, so if we look at the power supply in relation to our case,
It's not that big, but it has a bunch of component things.
it does. Obviously this part is going to go to the back of the PC because that's where you're going to plug in your power cord.
Yep, then turn it on with.
Yep. And you want to install it right side up,
Yeah.
which means the fan at the bottom. So this just kind of, this is what I love about this Lego stuff.
It just like snaps right in.
It just goes right in, right?
So,
Alright, so now we need screws.
So what type of screw will we be using for it?
Well, that's a good question. I would imagine that that's something that we could probably test
Yeah.
before we actually shove the thing in there, right?
True. So like to find which one will fit.
So if you look at the screws, right?
They're pretty tiny.
They're pretty tiny, right?
And it looks like they have like somewhat fine screw in.
So I would imagine that it would probably be,
The tiny spine ones.
so we've got those ones.
Yeah.
They're pretty tiny, right?
Yep.
But they're pretty long. And then these ones are super tiny, but they're short.
Yeah.
So you can try using, you use your teeth. I said these are really good at cutting plastic.
Yeah,
Not so good at cutting plastic bags.
true.
Probably the box cutter would have been a better one.
Yeah, but it would
Alright, so
scratch.
try to thread that screw into one of those holes.
Okay.
With your hands. With your fingers first.
It's pretty well so far.
Does it?
Yeah.
Alright, now try to tighten it with the screwdriver. Does it go? Alright, that's good. Now pull it up.
The reason why I picked out this screwdriver is it's magnetic. So it will retract the screws, but not showing it off so well.
Alright. Well, yeah, if the screws that you're working with are also magnetic. But
Yeah.
there are screws that you might deal with that are called the difference between something that is magnetic or not magnetic. Do you know that? Have you learned that yet?
Positive and negative charges, question?
Kinda. The term for that is ferrous or non-ferrous. Here, hold on. I'll bring it to you.
I'll open this your PC.
So it's always a good idea to try to start it by hand first, because if it's anywhere close to not being straight, don't tighten it down all the way either. Just install them kind of loosely. All right, so you're gonna put one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. Any place where it lines up, you want to put one there.
Okay. We got plenty of screws.
That's probably why they gave us so many, right? I
Okay.
lost my train of thought. I was talking about ferrous and non-ferrous, right?
Yeah.
So there's
So there are materials that are magnetic and there are materials that are not magnetic.
Yeah, so like one or so non-magnetic is I forgot the name, but it's something that is magnetic. My brain.
That's okay. We're not trying to do a school lesson here, right? I'm just trying to pass down a little bit of knowledge to you. So while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and pull the fans out. Have a different type of thing going here.
One of the things doesn't line up properly.
Good job, buddy.
Well, one more.
You just shut your mouth.
Right, bud, how you doing?
Nearly done. Okay, I'm finished with that.
Alright, so we got, let's go ahead and put one there
Oh, yeah.
and one there.
Or one I don't think will fully fit in there because it's slightly off center.
Okay. So that's why we don't tighten everything all the way.
So
Yep, so if we were to install a screw here and we tighten it all the way down, then install a screw over here and tighten it all the way down. When we do that, you wouldn't be able to move it. So that's one thing that I have learned working on aircraft, right? Is that a lot of panels and stuff like that, they're kind of flexy. And it really sucks to get to like trying to fit the last screw into something and it won't go in because
Yeah, I'm gonna loosen up just a bit up, so.
I can help you try to line it up.
Okay. Is that all?
Tell me which way it needs to go.
A bit to the left.
That way?
Yeah, I think I might be able to.
Okay.
Slowly.
That's about all she's got.
Maybe I'll just try to get it in.
Maybe if you scoop up a little bit.
If anything, it might need to go a little bit down or something.
Take a look at it real quick. Alright, so remember how I said that you always want to try to start it by
Yeah,
hand, right?
that's what I've been trying.
Sometimes you just kind of gotta
Screw it.
just gotta force it in there. But you see how it's pretty difficult for me to turn right now
Yeah.
because it wasn't all like perfectly aligned like the
Yeah,
other
it's
ones
kind
were.
of scratching up against the metal.
Alright, so go ahead and tighten those down. Make them pretty tight.
Okay.
After you get that one in. Alright, so we're just kind of doing like all the boring stuff right now.
Yeah.
What is actually pretty fun and pretty exciting is when we start putting the components on the motherboard.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why a motherboard is called a motherboard is because it's pretty much where every component of the PC either mounts to or plugs into. So the motherboard is going to not control everything, but it's going to allow everything to talk to each other.
Yeah. It's
So-
kind of like a transmitter or like a translator.
Yeah. Well, more like a transmitter.
Yeah. Okay.
Are they good?
Yep.
I'm gonna check 'em.
Good. Nice.
That's what we got to do sometimes. Well, not sometimes, but. Trust, but verify.
Must not get in there.
You know, I think the screwdriver is worn out.
Yeah, a little bit.
Put that one over here. So I tried to have two of everything. That way when Gavin was here, kind of go side by side. Does that one, that screwdriver feel like it engages better?
Or it kind of doesn't feel like it's really trying to turn it or something. I don't know. Or do you try?
This one's too big.
Yeah.
Goldilocks situation here. Okay, so I'd say that those are sufficiently tight.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our power supply mounted.
Yeah.
Now, should we mount the fans?
Okay.
Do you have your phone with you?
It's in my backpack.
It's in your backpack.
It's,
So what we need to figure out is for these fans,
yeah.
which way is push and which way is not push, right? So, so it's got a label here on the front that says Arctic, and then on the back, it doesn't have anything. So our fan configuration that we're trying to build is so that in the front of the PC here, right, we're going to do 3 fans
Okay.
pulling air in, right?
Alright.
And then what that's going to do, so the motherboard is going to sit right here. Okay.
Yep.
That's going to allow that air to come in and go across the components of the motherboard. Okay. And then we're going to have a fan and a fan pulling air. So we got 3 fans that are going to push air and 2 fans that are going to pull it. And so that's going to create a positive pressure, which is going to allow air to flow very well through the case.
Alright.
All right, so we just got to figure out which way is push and which way is pull in relation to the label.
Yeah, so we'll have to like power it up and see.
Well, no, we can just Google it or look it up.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not rocket surgery.
But I do think that probably the logo on the front is the push and the non-logo is probably the pull.
I think it would be the other way. I think the logo on the front would be pull because that's what you see, right?
Yeah.
So if we put it on the front of the case, right? You're gonna be like, hey man, I got Arctic fans. You're gonna be like, you're a liar, and I'm like, look, it's right there, right? Totally totally did. All right. So, but we've got to look that up.
True.
And my phone is being used for streaming.
And my phone's dead.
You said your phone's dead?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me go look at my PC real quick. I will be right back. In the meantime, let's start to. Did your power supply come with instructions?
No, I have not. Right now, so.
No. Okay. All right, stand by. So the label is the way that the airflow goes. Okay?
Sounds right.
So when we install these bad boys, we want the air to go this way. Okay? So when we look at these, right, we have little cable divots there.
Yeah.
So when we install these, we want all those divots to face the same way. because if they don't, then it kind of looks a little bit janky.
True.
And we want stuff to be like looking nice, right?
Yeah.
So since we're going to be installing one at the bottom, right, I would suggest that we install it with the cable thing at the top. Whether it be our motherboard is here, it's going to be on the left hand side in relation to the way that the case is now. So I would say we do it at the top left. Right. Just kind of stick her in there. Right. And then alright, and then you see how it's got different cutouts, right?
Yeah.
The wider cutouts are for 140 millimeter fans, and that's the dimension of the fan, right? These are 120, so we're going to use the inside divots, the inside cutouts.
Alright.
Okay? And the screws that we're going to use for those are out of this package here. We're going to kind of use a box cutter on those.
Yeah.
And these are almost the same.
So they're kind of just small.
Almost the same, right? But they're different, right? So we have to make sure that we keep our screws or our hardware together by what it is for. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Alright, so
I'll start off by doing the top one.
now remember how I was talking about the difference between coarse and fine threaded screws is that coarse threaded screws are used when you want to install something quickly. So it's okay to go ahead and just use a screwdriver on that. You don't have to start that by hand. Okay, and you feel how it's kind of giving you a little bit of resistance, right? So let's go ahead and install the opposite corner
So
and get that one started. And that's going to keep the fan from rotating.
it'll just stay on this.
Yep. It'll stay somewhat. It's still going to wiggle a little bit, but that's fine. Alright, see, I don't even have to hold it anymore.
And these ones I can push in pretty weakly because no matter what, because we'll still be putting down.
Well, we don't want to screw them down completely because we want to install all three of them. And then we're going to make sure that we have even spacing between all three fans. Right? That way when you look at it, it's even.
Yes, visual.
Because if not, what's that going to do? It's going to drive you crazy if you look at it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. It would drive me crazy. And since we have the opportunity to go ahead and do it, so it's, I don't want to say perfect because nothing's ever actually perfect. But if we have the time to get as close as we can, it makes it easier to do it now. That way we don't have to disassemble the whole PC to fix something that we could have
It's like
made sure that it was good to go prior to.
It's not really straight at all. And it doesn't.
So one thing that might help you,
Yeah.
it might not, I'm not sure, is when you're sitting down, you might not have the leverage that you need. I don't know, stand up. Now you're a little bit taller, right?
Yeah.
So that started. or start installing those ones.
And you'll screw.
And I am going to go and see if I can find a number one screwdriver that isn't. How's that feel? Is that better? Standing up?
A little bit.
A little bit.
You want me to do that?
Nope, keep going.
Yeah, I don't know where that.
Alright, so whenever we drop something, it's always a good idea to find it right away. So we're like, oh, I dropped something, I'll find it later.
Yeah.
A lot of times, later doesn't happen.
Can you see it? See it somewhere.
Right, which one were you working on when you dropped it?
This one.
That one? And it dropped
Yeah,
inside?
I think so. Think you can see it?
There it is.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm just gonna pop it up.
Hold it up.
And it goes right on the ground. Alright, so while you're working that one, I'm gonna start installing the back ones.
Okay.
And so basically when we do these, since we want to have them doing the same thing, moving the air in the same way, we'll just install the labels facing the same way, right? So look at it, boom, labels there, boom, labels there. So it's gonna pull the air and then it's gonna push the air away, right? Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
Alright, so our motherboard is going to be here.
I need it now.
I was just trying to orient the
Very good at holding these tightly.
Alright, so how bad do you want to nerd out on the spacing on the front case fans?
I'm not entirely sure.
might matter where these are, but it probably doesn't.
Wow, that looks so symmetrical.
So I just made a mistake. Remember how, like if you, the front of their case fans, how there's different mounting slots?
Yep.
On the top of the fan, or the top of the case, there's 3 slots instead of 4.
So it's not fully big.
And so I had put a screw in the widest slot without realizing what was silly Billy.
Okay, we have 4 screws left.
Okay.
I need 2, so yeah. That's it.
Boom.
We have enough screws. That's like weird, you know. Okay, last over. My wrist is in here because yeah. Okay, that's all of those. Okay, so that's the 3 done.
Okay.
Now basically what's left for most of the fans is to plug them in. They work.
Well, we're not going to be able to plug them in until we get the motherboard installed.
Yeah, true. So is
But-
that the next very last thing? So what will we be doing next after the fans? Or don't like these smaller things attached to the motherboard?
They do.
If we
But I'm just trying to figure out a little bit of cable management real quick.
yeah. I'm gonna go get a drink. Something. Here is the screw.
Is that an extra one?
Or that's the last one, if you need it. I had to push it out for you.
You need it because this is stripping out. Alright, so how bad do we want to nerd out on this spacing for the front?
I'm not like, I do like properly spaced out stuff,
Okay.
but like
I don't think I would die if it's not fully and properly spaced out.
Properly. Okay.
Actually, Mac might die because OCD.
So we can do this a couple of ways, right?
Yeah.
We can leave them stacked as they are right now and just try to make it even from top to bottom.
Yeah, that would be
Okay.
nice.
Or we could go top, bottom, and then evenly space this one.
Or I think I like the first option more.
You like them stacked
Or I mean, like, yeah, kind of.
and then even?
Yeah.
Alright, so if we wanted to achieve that,
We would have to like
what do you think would be the best way would be?
tighten the bottom and the top screws.
Okay, so we'll only have to tighten one top and one bottom
Oh yeah.
because alright, so how does that spacing look? Does that look pretty good?
It looks good, yeah. It won't kill me like some of the space.
Okay.
Okay, so this
Nice and snug. Look, we don't even have to tighten anything else.
Yep.
Because that one right there, that just prevented this whole assembly from sliding.
Yeah.
But
All
we have to
tight.
make sure that all these are tight.
Okay.
Now, once you get them tight, let me know and I'll check them, okay?
I
Mason the PC builder, moving on up in the world.
boy.
Beast mode.
Yep. Okay, almost finished these.
Okay.
Okay, that's How about you? I don't think so. Yeah, definitely not. Okay, I think that's all of them.
I'll check it. Actually, use this one.
So, next thing to install would be like,
Alright, so what we're gonna do next, Mason?
Yeah.
Is we're going to install all of the components.
Oh.
Or wait, hold on. Let me think about it for a second. So I'm pretty sure that we have to install standoffs underneath of the motherboard.
Or, I got the motherboard right
Alright, so go ahead and unbox that bad boy. Open her up.
here. Okay.
And make sure that we get the instructions. Should come with them.
Yeah. Because it's more complex than the other things. Okay, we got whatever that is.
Alright, so these are your Wi-Fi antennas.
Ah,
If you want to run Wi-Fi, but I don't imagine you would want to, but you know.
now here she is. Knowledge
Okay,
body.
so if we look at let's go ahead and do a little bit of talking here for just a second, because I like to nerd out a little bit when I can. All right, so this bag right here, right? You notice how it's got a silver color?
Yeah. Is it like tempered or something, like so it protects those things?
All right, so when something is packaged this way, that means it is susceptible to something that's called electrostatic discharge.
Ah.
Have you ever like rubbed your legs together and then shocked a door or touched a doorknob and shocked yourself?
Or
Okay.
so I've seen like a video of someone like who turned their PC off and like or turned their PC on like when it was finished and like had all the RGB stuff, and then the static electricity like broke their PC.
So static electricity, right? That's what ESD is, right? So this is a ESD protective
Coding.
bag,
Yeah.
right? So what does that mean? That means that when we work on this, when we're working on this, right, we don't want to have any items around that could possibly produce static electricity,
Okay.
right? So one thing that can do that really well is plastic, okay? Another thing that can do that really well is paper.
And there's a fabric.
Fabric, yeah, of course. So, since we have a pretty good little area here, we have plenty of room, right? Let's make sure that we clean up a lot of stuff, and we're not going to damage anything, right? It's just a protective measure. But what is a good practice to get in the habit of is that when you have something that is wrapped in a protective coating such as this, oh wow, that is a beautiful motherboard. Look at that
That
thing.
is beautiful.
Like that's pretty darn cool.
Totally.
Hold on.
Okay.
Is that when you have something that is packaged like this, is you want to put it on top of the package when you're working with it.
So it doesn't like static electricity.
Yep. So
Strength.
electricity is not going to flow unless if there's a path for it to flow through.
Yeah.
Think of it like water, right?
Or like it can't travel through insulators, but it can travel through conductors.
Exactly. You're smarter than I am.
So it can travel for like metals and like things like that.
And so we just want to isolate it as much as we can. We could like totally nerd out and have like wrist straps that connect to our wrists and then connect to like a ground throughout the house or something like that, or wear like these little silly things on our shoes that prevent static electricity from building up in our bodies, right? But a good rule of thumb, right, is that when you start working on something, you stay as still as you can.
Okay.
If you move around like this, you're generating static electricity, right?
Yeah.
Another rule of thumb is that you want to use one hand at a time,
So you aren't like.
right?
Yeah. So you're creating as.
So right now, this motherboard is completely isolated
Yeah.
because it's on top of the ESD protective
Coated
packaging, right?
package. Yeah.
It's on wood. Wood does not conduct electricity,
So it's very safe. for,
right?
electricities.
We're going to try to work as much as we can with just one hand, but we're going to have components that we're going to have to use both hands, right? But we're not going to want to be moving around a lot, and we're not going to want to have any plastics around.
Yeah.
All right, so
So.
we need to find the directions for the motherboard, because we can build this one in two ways. We can either build it up here and then install it
Yeah.
into the case, or we can install it into the case and build it from the case. I myself would like to install the processor and probably the SSD,
Yeah.
install it into the case, and then install everything else.
So there are the instructions.
Oh, you got a whole bunch of stickers you can put on that thing?
Ooh, fun.
Yeah.
And we got we are
certificate of reliability.
And also the super duper tiny screws.
Alright, so we have a disc that's going to have the drivers for the motherboard, but it's 2022, right? Nobody has disk drives anymore, and if they do, it's a pretty rare occurrence. So that's kind of going to go over there. So hopefully, once we get this thing up and running, we'll be able to connect to the internet, and then we'll be able to download all the drivers,
Yeah.
all of the things.
So
Okie doke.
will all of these things connect to the motherboard?
Yes, but do me a favor and just kind of keep them like over there for now.
Okay. I'll put them on top of the box. Because
Okie dokie.
these things came with the stuff in the motherboard thing.
Yeah, that's a good look. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Like if you go look at the back of my computer, or go look at the back of Gavin's computer, because Gavin's computer is my old computer.
Yeah.
It's kind of,
Yeah.
you can pretty much tell.
And basically, this was made nearly entirely from machinery. Pretty cool.
So we do not have any instructions on how to install the motherboard into the case,
That's
which is fine. We can figure it out, right? Because we're smart.
probably things.
So let's go ahead. We can. There's enough room in this case, Mason. Like we can go ahead and install this and just go from there, right? So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to get all the cabling out of the way. We're gonna do some significant cable management,
Okay.
right? But right now, as important as that is, it's really not super
Yeah.
duper
I don't
important.
trust myself enough to put that into the computer.
Is I'm going to, because this is pretty much the angle
Yep.
of the camera, right?
Or if you want, we could.
What are you doing?
The ring light.
Huh?
We could turn on the ring light.
It's not very good though.
Yeah. Well, might as well try, I guess.
Okay.
Wow. It's kind of bright.
All right, come over here real quick.
So, what you need?
All right, so if you look, right, inside of the case.
Yeah.
So these are stanchions right here. These little hex nuts. That's why I had this 5mm driver right here.
To take that out?
Is no, in case if we had to install those. Okay.
Ah.
But they're already installed. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go around and make sure they're snug,
So
because
there's
there are gonna be things that are going to screw into those, and if they're not snug, we might run into an issue. But what I wanted to show you is if you look right here, there's like this little pokey boy right there.
Yeah.
And so that's basically something that you are going to use as a reference to center the motherboard in the case.
Oh.
Now, I would imagine that's probably,
I'm gonna turn off the ring light. It's gonna rain.
yeah. Another thing you can kind of do is look at the back. and boom. So that pokey boy, right there.
It's brown fruit.
So now we have all these screws that we need to install.
Okay, so what type of screw will that be? Will
Oh,
it be
but hold on. We might actually have to install some stanchions here. Because there's no support under this one, right there, or that one.
Yeah.
So that one's supported. All these on this side are supported. This one is not, or that one is supported. But under this one and that one. So let's see if we have, we'll pull it back out.
Okay.
We'll see if we have an area to where we can install those supports. And it looks like we do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our 5mm driver. Okay. And we're just going to, we're gonna steal them from here.
This computer's hard to nice.
AE micro. So there are different form factors for the motherboards.
Yeah.
There is, like this one is a micro,
Okay.
okay? Then there's a mini, and what's kind of funny, or what's kind of silly about it, is mini is like twice the size.
Oh. That's just weird.
It's kind of like, wait, this one is micro. No, wait, it's backwards. I think. Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, you can always Google this stuff, right?
Yep. Or like I think the reason why this motherboard looks so like clean and sleek is like just because like instead of being like the usual like green and like darker green and yellow and stuff, it's like a clean black and orange.
Yeah.
It is very sleek.
So are you saying that you like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or to be honest, if your imagination is like big enough, I guess, it kind of looks like a town or a city.
You know, actually, that's a good
Yeah.
that's a good observation. I like
It
that.
looks like a futuristic thing.
All right. So now we got support there. We got support there. There. Okay. All right. Which this came with?
There, yeah, those came with it.
So we're gonna use those itty bitty boys for the SSD. Alright. Let's go ahead and say,
Wow, these are so good. Look at that.
that these, we're not gonna use those right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to locate, see, what do we use these ones for? We use those ones for,
I don't think we've used those
we did,
yet.
because it's open.
No, yeah. We use them for the, oh yeah, we use them for the power supply. I'm totally going to say that now.
Thanks, Jennifer.
You're welcome. I just want to see how, oh my god, I can cut plastic so.
Doesn't it cut it well?
Yeah.
Alright.
I know you want it.
I do not.
Um,
Thank you.
drop screws or something?
Something. I think that that is the only thing that we're gonna need those scissors for.
Yeah, just beating up plastic. I'm just bored. I don't know why I'm bored. I just want to do something weird. Cutting plastic
I
is
don't
fun.
think those are the screws for this.
Finding out the correct screws are weird, you know?
It's not those. Oh, it might be the same ones that we used for the power supply.
Maybe?
Guess we'll find out. 'Cause they don't label anything.
Yeah.
They're just like, here you go.
Yeah,
Here's some stuff.
Here's a bundle of screws. Use it wisely.
Welcome to IKEA. Well, actually, IKEA actually does label everything very well, and their instructions are very easy to follow. So if you have issues with that,
That's a you problem.
yeah, it's definitely a you problem. Jennifer said that. I don't know if you can hear her, but that's what she said. I'm just a parrot.
What happened?
What?
Oh, you said poop.
I did.
So why'd you say it?
Because I shouldn't have installed this case fan right here, because it makes it difficult to get to one of these screws.
Eric, can we take it out or something?
No.
No.
Like I said, it makes it, or I'm sorry, it makes it less easy. It's not difficult.
Okay.
That one might be a challenge. Get all the other easy ones done.
You know, I don't know why.
You know, I missed one.
It feels like these scissors were made to cut plastic or something. Could it be though? Hey Gavin.
Hey guys, you live streaming, Dad?
Yep.
I am.
Awesome. What's up, stream?
I probably have like 0 viewers.
Feels like 48 million.
Definitely don't have 0 viewers.
Probably not.
Mason, are you excited?
Yeah. I'm just mutilating plastic. Don't mind me.
Hey, can I take a shower and then we can start building it?
Like realistically,
Hey Gavin, I
This
don't
is-
know why, but you smell like sweat.
this is taking about as long as I thought that it would. So,
Yes, gotta go
shower.
shower.
Can you get that plastic off here for me?
Send me the stream link and I'll put it in my
It's a little bit of trial and error sometimes. Like on the inside of the case, it has labels for the configure or the size of the motherboard.
Yep.
But on this one, it has 2 M's like right next to each other,
Yeah, so it's kind of confusing.
and so I had to try to install the motherboard. Then I realized I had to take it back out again in order to get, because you want the motherboard to be fully supported. That's really important, especially when we talk about installing a heavy GPU or video card.
Yeah.
Because if you look right here, this is where the graphics card will install. It's reinforced with metal, but as the PC is operating, or as it sits, right, your motherboard is going to be vertical. It's not going to be horizontal.
Yeah.
So all that weight needs to be supported. So it's important to make sure that you have all of your stanchions
Yeah.
configured properly.
Is that a nail?
It's even more important for the bottom ones because those are the ones that are load bearing.
Yeah.
I'm an engineer. You can follow me on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, you know all the things.
Alright, there we go. Alright, now I'm just pushing on the different places. It seems that we are fully supported now. Fully supported!
Yay!
It's exciting.
You want all these straws with plastic that I've made. If you don't want them, I can sharpen them.
I would throw them away.
Yeah, it might be a good idea to try to minimize our clutter right now.
True.
Oh man, I was going to install the SSD before I installed this. But I guess we'll figure out how. I've never installed this type of SSD on a motherboard before. Okay, you can kind of open that up, but we don't want to do anything with it aside from just opening up the packaging, okay?
Okay.
Because that's pretty much the most important part of the computer. And it would kill me if we did something wrong and the computer did not work, okay?
Yeah. So is it like, where it says Intel, so that.
That is the processor.
So it processes things.
It does. It processes all the things.
I just want to see what it looks like because it's not a box.
So talking about computer components, you have your motherboard, right? That is the component that pretty much everything
Lights
will
on?
either hook in, like connect to or connect on. And basically it's just a big circuit card, like a big highway. It allows all this information to travel. Right? And then you have different components. You have your processor, and what that does is, this is actually very simple. All that it does
Is it processing?
is it just
Intel?
basically changes things from 1 to 0 or 0 to 1.
So it just sees like all the like things and like, so it basically just like sees like, okay, so this was, and or so this is Intel, now let's like transfer it to code, so the motherboard can understand it or something.
Alright, so they say like it's the brain of the computer, which is fairly accurate.
And being super careful with it.
Alright, so that looks like that might be the most important part right there. You can hold that up to the camera. All that is, that's just the cooler, but do not touch the back. Don't touch the back part. Alright, that's the cooler. Okay, turn it around. Alright, the back part there, that's the heat sink. That's what's going to mount on top of the processor. Right, and that is what is going to keep the processor cool so it can keep changing or keep computing ones and zeros.
So you want me to face it. Okay, so I assume you want me to face the back upward so it isn't touching the table.
Please.
So is this like the,
That is the processor.
okay.
That is the most important part of the computer.
It's kind of funny how like probably one of the smallest pieces is one of the most important. So we got some orders of things. So these turbines.
So those
Are those like,
are what is called RAM. And
So-
RAM stands for Random Access Memory.
so it basically increases your like memory on your computer so you can have more stuff on it, like downloads and stuff.
Nope.
Is it just like so it remembers things?
So what that does is that allows the PC. Alright, so let's try to put it into. I'm trying to think of an analogy that would be a good one. Alright, so you're at school, right?
Yeah.
You're learning a lesson, whatever class it is, right? Because that's what you do. You go to school, you learn stuff. And you have all this information flowing, right?
Yeah.
It's just coming, it's just coming, it's just coming, it's just coming.
Yep. And it's just like endless rumbling.
What RAMs does is it will keep things in specific places so that your brain, your processor can access it faster.
Okay, so it's kind of like, you know how your brain is like kind of like in multiple sections, like your memory, your like emotions, your just things,
Oblongata.
like just all the things like split up in between like different parts of your brain. So it's kind of like that. So it's like it separates information.
Yep. And so the more RAM capacity that you have,
The more information.
the more information can just kind of be floating out there, right?
Yeah.
So one thing that you'll see is like, okay, you'll be trying to play a game,
Yep.
and even though your processor, your brain, like your main thing, is sufficient to handle the task. So you've got different storages or different memories, right? So you've got your hard drive, right, which is just it's indexed data that's stored, right?
Yep.
And then you've got your processor, and what that does is that will pull from that, okay? And then you've got your RAM, which can also index data that the computer is going to use a lot because it's a lot faster. Because the path between the processor and the RAM chip is like really, it's infinitely small, right?
Yep.
But the distance between the hard drive and the processor is bigger. It's got to go through more things, right? So it's like trying to go to work or trying to go to school and just driving on side streets and instead of taking the highway.
Sure. Or it's kind of like, or basically a PC is kind of just like your whole body, just like in like technological or thing form.
Could be.
Because like the fans act as like sweating when you're exhausted, like, or like just like cooling off, you know, just taking a break or something, and like just all the things. There's so many things in a computer, I can hardly name like 4.
All right, so I guess we'll try to install this SSD. So I apologize because all that you can see is like me looking down inside of the case. When I build Gavin's computer, I'll try to do a better job of actually having the camera maybe looking top down. Mason, you want to come over here and actually see the motherboard installed?
Yep.
And it's nice and solid. It's not going anywhere. Boom shakalaka laka boom, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very boom shakalaka boom.
Uh-huh. Okay, so
Now it's open up.
this little itty bitty guy right here, right?
Yeah.
This is 2 terabytes of storage, 2 terabytes is huge. Like a picture, depending on how many megapixels your camera has or anything like that, right? Could be anywhere between like say 2 to 5 megabytes, right? And so if we think about the metric system, right? So each instance of 1,000 changes the name, right? Am I right, Mason?
Yeah. I love how they make these things and they are literally useless.
So we have a megabyte, right? Or megabyte, megabit.
Yeah.
That term is kind of interchangeable, but they're a little bit different. A megabyte is 1,000 bytes.
Yeah.
1,000 megabytes is a gigabyte. 1,000 gigabytes is a terabyte.
Yeah.
So if you think about how
So it kind
that
of
grows
yeah.
exponentially.
Yeah, true. So it kind of works like weight, or like weight. So like 1,000 kilograms is like my brain, or like 1,000. My freaking brain is just dying.
Well, it's the same.
Yeah.
You know, I like the metric system a little bit better. Okay.
There's a Band-Aid right there. Corner of the.
This one.
All right. So here is
Just take a break. But remember, you gotta work and stuff.
I know.
Did you stop by?
our NVMe PCI Express solid state
I'm
drive.
starting tomorrow.
All right. So there is a little silver screw in that bag.
So you want me to grab one of those little
Is this
soldiers?
Yoda? Baby Yoda?
Or even though I cut the bag open, I decided to seal
So
it.
you start tomorrow, what's your hours tomorrow?
All right. So like I said, I will try to document this better for the next build. But
I just said you're available.
pretty much everything you put into the computer, it's keyed a certain way, so that you can only install it one way. Like this SSD, right? It's got all these rows, and then it's got a place where it doesn't have rows, and then it's got more rows, a few more rows, and then its reciprocal in the motherboard mirrors that. So all you gotta do is you just gotta line it up, plop her in, and chunky monkey her down.
That was the best night, or that was the best like.
Where can I sit?
Over there.
Over there?
How was the ball of baskets?
Fun. I hurt my feet a lot.
So it was not that screw.
No,
No. So let me try.
the bigger one.
Hold on. Let me try this one because the mediumer one.
All my friends are here, Dad.
Here we go.
All of them.
Yeah, when you're so mad.
Hi, Plasma.
Yeah, you know? That's plasma.
Hi, Jay.
Say hi to Isaac.
Hi, Isaac.
Say hi to Anthony.
Hey, Anthony.
Hey, Gavin, is Isaac's full name Isaac Newton?
No,
Oh.
it's Isaac Ching Chong.
Oh, that's
poor
not
Isaac.
racist.
It's not very. Hey, in that bag. Try.
Dad, I'm the one getting canceled, not you. It's okay.
You know what's cool?
Yes.
I can't see or hear or I don't know what anybody is saying or typing or
Do you wanna see? I got it pulled up on my phone, Father. Do you wanna see?
I can't see because I'm focusing on this.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Alright, so I need a screw that is
Dad,
bigger.
I can't breathe. It's so hard to freaking breathe right now.
Who knows?
My everything hurts. What's it called? Jay said W, Mom.
WS?
I got that. W. Bro, you need to go to bed.
What all came with the motherboard, Mason?
I'm gonna go to bed after this.
Or was also this?
So I'm so tired.
Or it was as well as this. So it's these tiny screws, this and this. And also the motherboard. And also the motherboard itself.
So I'm trying to get this NVMe SSD to mount.
I'm gonna get all those out because it's plastic on the thing.
Did you get my GPU out?
Your GPU? No.
You want me to go do that?
If you want to. This build's taking a little bit longer than what I had thought that it would have.
Isn't this Gavin's GPU?
No,
That's his old one.
What?
That's on yours.
Oh.
For now.
Oh, you know what? I am so smart.
Love it.
I'll actually want to kind of illustrate this.
These big words. Oh.
Alright, so this little itty SSD, right? If you notice on this side, it's got like a half moon shaped cutout, right? So it slides into a slot on the motherboard, and then it's got a little thing that's supposed to go there. So I was trying to fit a screw into the post that goes there, but that post, it just rotates and locks it into place.
Dad, my friend said that you're very attractive.
Well, that's okay.
Nobody said that.
Plasma did. He said your
Oh,
dad is
your
kind of
dad's
bad.
kind of bad. Okay. Duh.
Mom, you should come up here.
No, thank you.
Why not? You look very presentable right now.
My makeup is all over my face.
Yeah, it makes you look emo. It's awesome.
Huh?
I said you got a guy below the camera so nobody sees you.
I know. I have to be sneaky.
No,
Sneaky,
you don't.
sneaky, sneaky.
So sneaky.
Mom's an L mom, to be honest, for not getting over here and saying hi to all my friends.
To be honest, Gavin.
They probably see me in the mirror right there.
Plasma says, hey mom.
True.
Plasma says, hey mom.
Hey.
Hey mom, can you give me some ibuprofen?
Yeah.
And something to make me able to breathe.
Have you taken your allergy meds?
Yeah, I did.
When?
In the morning.
He has some in his room.
I know who you are. Bye. Is he remounting the NVMe SSD or is he just now doing it?
I am trying to.
You're trying to mount it.
Whoever asked that. Who asked that?
Plasma is.
Plasma's a smart kid.
No, he's not. He's not in school, Mom.
I know that he dropped out.
He's like me for real.
Yeah, because Gavin dropped out so far.
I did. And I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah.
Alright, NVMe SSD is mounted.
Awesome.
It's just kind of, it's got like this little rotating tab that goes on the back side of it.
Bro, Anthony, chill. He said come Jay.
Alright, so
Can we ban him from the chat?
can I make a request that you guys be respectful because you're not the only people watching this that will see it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, he's got work friends.
I'm trying to make this instructional, but if I get filled with rage, then the stream will end.
And the PC will
Gavin.
be broken. Thanks, Mom.
Alright, so the SSD is in. Next up, I believe, should be
Oh.
the processor.
So.
He said
this-
autocorrect.
this
Tongue
whole
check.
thing? Well, this is the processor, right?
I just choked on that.
Choked on the processor that I think is the processor.
No,
but
the-
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the processor. Let me see it. Isn't it an i5 12400F?
What?
Yes.
Okay, here's your processor.
Hold on.
Plasma says, I remember on my first build, I was trying to melt the SSD after I put the motherboard in. The cases, it didn't go too well with my big hands. He has very, very, very big and strong hands.
Good for him.
Do you think Plasma's cool, Dad?
I really should.
No. How much stream delay is on it? 15? I think it's 5.
Stream delay?
Yeah.
At least a day.
A day. Valid.
I got one more day work at McDonald's.
No, that's my cow! Give me it back!
Hey.
Never.
My bad. That's you. Mason, I like your hair today.
Oh, did I? That would be.
Hey Mason, get it out from under your ears real quick. I want to see it. Like make it over your ear now. Yeah, like that. That's better. You look better that way. You should get a flow hairstyle, Mason. I feel like it would look really good on you.
Cat.
Go show my friends your haircut. They can't see you there. Oh, okay. Oh my god. No, like actually like let them see it though.
Nah.
Like do it 360. Oh, we have 5 viewers now.
Awesome.
Aren't my friends the bomb? Jay said that he likes your hair, Mason.
What doing?
We're using an i5 12400 out. Pretty good in my opinion.
Imagine
12th gen.
12. 400.
12400F. My bad, Dad. Or what cooler are we using, Dad?
Stop.
We're using stock cooler. Okay. Is that good?
It's sufficient for the build.
Okay. Ah! What's that?
It's a bird.
You're a bird.
Oh, you're a bird.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, guys.
Excuse me.
Here's your invisible processor.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
Hey, Dad, are we gonna sell the old parts from my old PC?
I think I wanted to keep that for a steam rig.
Hey, Gavin.
What?
A stream rig?
Well, I don't know. I'm probably not gonna stream. I don't have time for it.
Hey, Gavin, I'm cutting your invisible processor in half. How do you feel
You're
about
such a
that?
bad person, Mason. Why would you cut that? You don't want to cut that, dude. Because how are you gonna store the processor? If you...
True.
It's okay.
We can use glue.
No. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
It still works. It just has a massive slit in it.
What's it called? You can still use other things. It's all good.
Yeah, we could just use a tactical bomb to store it.
Honestly, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Just me though.
I would just put it in a box of plutonium-239. You know what that is, right?
Plasma said destructive. I love it.
Yes, sir. You're gonna blow this joint.
I'm gonna blow up.
Something.
I'm gonna blow up this water bottle. Don't say
Damn.
anything. Don't say you're gonna bomb anything. We're on live.
Who
Bad
said
boy.
that?
Bad boy.
You just said you just threatened to blow up a water bottle and you're threatening me to not blow things up?
I mean, like actual things.
I'm gonna fart and I'm gonna say
All right. Can we try to just keep the banter down?
Okay.
I'm trying to install the cooler on the processor, and it makes it pretty difficult to do when it's incessant just talking. So if you could, please.
Okay, definitely.
Yes, sir. Do you want to do my PC Saturday?
I don't know. Are you working Saturday?
I'm gonna be working in the morning. Tomorrow I'll get my schedule figured out.
Schedule it. So what is this thing?
Your graphics card.
Ah,
That's an RX 580. It's actually really good.
nice. Or was it your old graphics card?
Yeah.
So.
Which don't make that, or don't think, or don't make you think. Don't let that make you think that it is bad. It is actually pretty good.
It looks
It's a
pretty.
decent video card.
It looks pretty nice.
Has your dad ever ran a custom water loop in a build?
What?
No. That'd be cool as hell.
Yeah, to be honest, I would.
Yeah, if I were to do that though, like I would explode it on accident.
Yeah, we'll just explode.
All right. So remember what I said about the chatter.
Yes, sorry.
But water and electronics do not mix very well.
Do the rotating.
I accidentally made 2 knives.
Good job, buddy. Good. So proud.
Yeah.
They actually look fire too. Cut the back of it, yeah. Oh yeah, boy. Oh yeah. Creative. My plasma just told me to put my PC in mineral oil.
Oh, that would totally not do anything.
Why would you even try to do anything like that with a 12400? It's not going to overheat. You can't overclock it. I mean, you can a little bit, but just with power.
But there are water coolers for PCs, right?
Hey Dad, how much FPS do you think I'll be getting in Minecraft?
At least 2.
What are you getting now?
Like a good 140 with shaders on.
140 with shaders on. You'll get at least 135 with shaders off.
Oh yeah, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Plasma says 4 laughs. Ha 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 ha. Plasma, you're one silly, goofy goober. You're such a silly, goofy goober.
Were there any instructions with this one, Mason? Remember how I said that instructions were
I
important?
think so.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Hey, Gavin, choose a knife. Any knife.
That one.
You just say
The one that looks like the knife.
Then saw it back plate.
Oh, that one.
This one?
That one.
Does this need a
That
back plate?
Why would you throw that at me? Knowing that it is a dangerous weapon.
Yes.
Guys, please.
How many gigs are we gonna have?
Of what?
RAM.
32.
32? Oh my goodness, we're beefing it out.
32. Everything's right there. Like, if
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to get up. I have blisters. My feet hurt. My ankles hurt. My knee hurts. My joints hurt. Everything hurts.
Well, my wrist hurts.
I'm tired as heck.
I'm just sharpening my knife over here.
Good job,
I
buddy.
think I wish I would have went with an aftermarket cooler.
Is that good?
They have not improved the installation of these stock coolers since. What are you running? What's in yours right now?
9535 for processor or motherboard?
For cooler installation.
I don't know.
No. I'm saying that since I built that PC way back when, like it's still a pain in the
So like,
in the hoo-hoo.
In the place where the coffee comes out.
plasma. When I come up to North Carolina, we gotta build a PC together. With my dad too.
Yeah, because he'll basically just carry. I
Really
don't
well.
have to do much more.
He's carrying yours, but I have to do most of mine.
Okay.
It's gonna suck. But I'm gonna learn. Plasma, I'm gonna be big rich. Mom, stop. Stop being so mean to me, Mom. No, I actually am going to be big rich, right, Mom? For a 16-year-old?
Yeah, you have like $10.
I have like 130 right now.
Nice.
Or 160.
Can I have like 2 cents?
I can give you a 20.
20 cents?
Psych!
That man,
I
I
gotta-
wanted 20 cents.
I gotta pay for Jordan. Oh god.
Well, how about 69 cents?
That's a little too much, buddy. Sorry to break
Bring
it, but I'm broke. Yes, I'm a trucker. Hey Dad, have you ever listened to NBA Youngboy?
Probably once in his life. Maybe twice.
Dad, are you a fan of King Von? Dad, are you from O Block?
Get it? Hey Dad, what's your second favorite genre of music? Because I know your first favorite.
Heavy metal.
Heavy metal.
Whoa.
Just heavier heavy metal.
Hey, Dad, Plasma said, why be better to your music taste? He thinks that YB is better than everything.
I don't have any idea what that means.
Young
Okay.
boy.
And I've been sitting here trying to install this cooler for like the last hour. Right? So the conversations about things that don't matter in the moment are
Young boy matters, Dad.
okay.
He's
I'm
my gang for real.
Yeah.
sure that he matters.
I'm literally gang with Young boy. I'm from O Block.
Yeah. What's young boy's full name?
Freaking finally.
You finally got it?
I don't know what his full name is because from where I'm from, we call him Young boy.
Okay.
His full name is Enemy Boy.
Stream, I'll be back. Enjoy the family banner.
Alright, so basically, like, Young boy, my homes, bro. I F with Young boy. Oh, God.
How many
Right.
times have you?
Do you know what that means, buddy?
Yes, I do. Okay, why are you sucking his hair? Stop licking his hair.
Gavin and Mason. Dad sent this link out to some of his friends from work, so
Yeah, cool. Kevin's literally licking hair.
I am cool. JJ, I said that. I'm from G Block, Gavin Block on Gangnam. All right, so guys, in the chat, let's remember to keep it very family friendly because my dad sent out some invites to his friends at work. So let's keep it very family friendly. Let's make it very enjoyable for other viewers too, or I will have to ban you from my Minecraft server. Now Dad's done taking his fun doozy woosey. He's back. Hello, Father. Are you ready to install the cooler?
He already did.
Plasma says, yes, sire, my deepest apologies.
Yes, the cooler is installed.
Valid, let's go.
Hey, let's go. Okay, what
I
next?
think there's always.
Okay, so is it the RAM stuff now? Or like the
Let him.
other things? It looks like it's Blue 10 in there. What's this for?
It's just a cover for the processor stuff.
So Mason, what are you doing tomorrow?
Going to school.
Oh.
And then sleeping.
Are you gonna have fun?
Maybe.
Oh, I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Well, at least you'll get your first paycheck.
Not-
He won't get his paycheck
Yeah.
for 2 weeks.
Oh,
No, I'll get it November 25th.
November 25th?
Yeah.
They will get first paycheck?
Okay, but
Because that's the next pay period. The next pay period is the 25th. And then
I don't like that.
2 weeks after that is our next one.
at least
They're just getting us back on like schedule with every other person.
So how much will you be paid for like that amount of work?
Or I didn't mean November 25th, October 25th.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
My bad,
That
my
was
bad, my
about
bad.
to be a.
but that's over a month away.
That is completely my fault.
But
I
yeah,
do
how
not.
much will you get for your first paycheck?
He doesn't know yet.
Depends on how many hours.
he works.
Let's just say.
Have you checked your email yet to see if they sent you the link?
Yeah, I'm already done with all that.
Connecting wires or something?
I am trying to install
I'm working for
the
McDonald's.
CPU cooler wire into the header.
Yeah.
Hey Dad, with my PC, do you want to set up 2 cameras?
What?
I could get one of, like, we could use a webcam if you want.
So the issue that I have is that my account does not qualify to stream to YouTube using my phone. So I had to download Streamlabs to my phone
Wait, why? That's so stupid.
so that I could stream to YouTube.
No, I'm saying, like, why won't they let you stream on YouTube?
Because I don't have enough
Subscribers?
subscribers or it says I do not meet the guidelines, which is fine. I'm not going to be streaming every day.
Plasma, what you want on your burger? Dad, are you gonna start streaming though, like different games and stuff?
I might.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm glad.
That is
What's it called? We should play CS:GO together. I know you don't like that.
I'm not good at CS:GO.
I'm very horrible at CS:GO too. I'm not even gonna try to act like I'm good. I'm really bad. I'm definitely better at Valorant. But
The mechanics are basically the same though, aren't they?
yeah, they most definitely are. But
The thing I don't necessarily understand about lore it is that like
Well, Lord,
each character has like its own like ability or
yeah, I get what you mean.
thing, and like I really only played it for the beta. Or was that the alpha?
It's beta. It was beta and then it was released.
So I don't really.
I
I
can.
don't know. If it's better than it was then yeah, sure, maybe I will.
It definitely is better.
You know, but it just seemed really weird.
My bad, Plasma.
All right, Mason.
I've been really busy.
Yeah.
Let's get that round, boy.
Hey,
Ow! I just poked myself with my knife.
That's
Okay.
smart.
You have not opened that yet?
You are
Out
a
of all the
silly
things-
ass
Out
dog.
of all the things that you've been cutting,
You don't cut the ring.
okay, I'll cut the ram in half.
Because that's just my thing to do.
Oh, I know you quit Valorant, Plasma. That doesn't matter. I quit Val too, but I'm gonna. If my dad wants to play,
Alright,
it,
so
we'll play it.
when we open this stuff, what I found that's easier is to like cut more than just one side and then part of the other side, right? These scissors do really, really good with this type of plastic, right? Now we have at least two sides that are open.
Hey Dad, say we were gonna play Valorant. The community is like really, really weird. Have you ever heard of eat-aters?
Have you ever heard of food buddies?
Eat-aters.
Eat daters?
Yes.
Electronic daters. People who date online, basically just online daters.
Yeah, imagine that, but on a scale times 30.
Yeah.
That's not
And
allowed
that's-
to e-date anybody.
And that's Val.
Yeah.
Like imagine Roblox, but like half of the eating.
Alright, Mason, come here. Check this out.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Alright, so your processor is installed, the cooler is installed, the cooler fan is hooked up to its spot, right? Your SSD is installed, right? You have 4 RAM slots, right? So here's your RAM stick,
We
right?
have 2 rams.
We have 2 RAM sticks. So if you look here, what's the difference between all of these? Or what's
Color.
okay? So if I was going to install one here,
Yeah.
right,
The other one.
and then the other one in the other color, do you think it would work?
Maybe.
Maybe it would, but
Hey Dad,
you probably want to install them in the same color.
Probably.
you give me permission to use your dad powers to help Plasma build a PC.
I don't understand what that means.
Like, you lend
Right,
me your
so-
dad powers because he wants me to act like his dad and make him a PC.
So if you look, right?
Yeah.
You have one side that's longer than the other. This side is longer than that side.
Yeah.
Right?
So
And you look
then
here,
we'll go into this
and you see
one.
how it's got the slot, right?
Yeah.
On
Are
this
those
side
16?
are retaining clips,
Yes.
right? So if you try to install it with those retaining clips closed, it won't go in, right?
Yeah.
So you need to open your retaining clips. But are we going to install it in black or are we going to install it in gray?
Let's do it in gray.
In gray? Why gray?
I don't know.
Okay.
Alright, what an
I would
actual
choose
install.
choose gray because it's a little bit further away
Yeah.
from the CPU cooler.
Yeah, and it also, if you choose black, it actually won't even fit in.
Right, so
Because the distance.
on older motherboards, you used to have these retaining clips on either side.
But now we just have it on.
Now we just have it on one. So what you do is you install it into one side, the side that's closed, okay? You line it up to the other one, right? And then once it's lined up, you want to press down evenly on both sides until you hear it click into place.
Okay.
All right,
I'll
so
try.
here, let me do this one.
Who else is in chat?
Boom.
We have 3 viewers.
Ram stick installed.
Are you still viewing them?
No.
Okay, so we have 2 other viewers other than Plasma. Or actually, no, 1 other viewer, because I realized that I'm on the phone. Is it Jay, or is it Isaac, or is it Vi, or is it one of Dad's work friends?
Okay, I think it went in.
Could be Nana Banana.
So let's check.
Nana!
So what you want to do is you just want to kind of grab it
I heard
and
it's
just
like,
give it a little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Yep.
Okay, it doesn't move, right?
Yep.
Boom. All right, so we've basically built the PC at this point, but we
Right.
have not connected any of
the wires.
the wires for the power supply or any of the wires for the fans or anything like that.
Just
So,
we got
what
a
we can
graphics
do
card.
We'll do
is
that later.
we can install all the components, right? That way we have a sense of accomplishment. And then we can try to install the wires, and we might be able to work within the confines of the case to get around everything to make it work, right? But we want it to look nice and clean.
Yeah.
Right? We don't want to make it look like it's Mason's first build when he's 12,
Yeah.
when his dad was the one that was building it, right? So it'd be kind of embarrassing.
Yep.
All right. So, one thing that's important though is that before we get too many items on this motherboard that take up a lot of significant real estate.
Bruce and real estate. I'm dead.
Well, it's not for
Is that we
real
want to
estate.
make sure that we have access to all of the headers
Yeah.
that we need access to. So if you look, right, this is a header, that's a header. All these things are headers,
Hey Dad, can I go to bed?
right?
Yeah, okay.
So one thing that we probably need access to, that I might have jumped the gun on a little bit, is this power connector over here. So we got this big, huge, it's like 20 pin power connector, and then we've got what is that,
Dad, look.
a 12 pin power connector over here, right?
Do you get it?
Do you get that?
No.
Okay.
I still
So
listen.
we're probably gonna have to route
Oh!
stuff, blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
go ahead and grab the GPU.
Okie dokie. It's a little heavy, or it just won't take it out.
It's okay.
Is that a single slot or double slot? Yeah. Double.
Love you, Dad.
Love you too. You going to bed?
Yeah, yeah. Love you, buddy.
So, okay, I'll put it right here. So. Good?
All right. So if you look back here, right?
Yeah.
You got all these little things.
Yep.
Okay. And they're only a certain distance wide, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at the back of the GPU, it is a 2-slot width GPU, right?
Yep.
So I removed 2 standoffs from the back so that we can install the GPU. Now this is it's kind of the same as installing the RAM in that one side has a retaining clip, okay? But the difference is on the other side, these legs are going to go into the standoff portions of the case. All right, so we line it up, kind of the same thing as on the RAM, right? We have
A short and
a short and a long, right? So they make it really easy so you can't install stuff backwards. You wouldn't want to install this backwards anyway because, number one, this panel right here is where you hook up your monitors to, and you couldn't do that if it was inside the case, right? So, but they make things easy.
Yeah.
Right?
It looks a little scary to install, but it's.
So you line it right there, right? Boom. Watch. Push it down. Clicks into place. Okay. Easy day, right?
Yep.
So then what we do is we just install the screws on the top
place.
keep it in place.
And that's basically the computer done apart from the wires.
For the most part, yep. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
What, 2 hours and 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Basic components of the PC are in and built.
Yep.
First time ever building in this case, right?
Yeah.
First time ever using any of these specific components except for this video card, which I'd used previously in the computer that
Gavin.
or blah 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 blah, right? So I'd imagine that if I was to build one of these again, from start to finish, it would probably take me about 6 hours.
Yep.
So, all right. So I appreciate whoever was watching. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream for tonight. But if there is any interest at all in watching the completion of this, then I can go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and end the live stream, but I can go ahead and record it, and I might put it up, or I might not. I'll probably just live stream Gavin's build. Try to make that a little bit more seamless, and do that from start to finish until it's complete. All right. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Absolutely legendary.
Love it.
Fully charged. Connected.